Okay everybody, we're going to get started. So what can I say? A Facebook Live cooking demo. Why? Well, if those of you who know me know I don't do anything by halves. So how are we going to do this? Well, I don't have a camera crew here. I don't have a professional kitchen. I am in my flat. I was hoping to be with Mama and Papa Pecora, but as per government guidelines, they are staying safe in their house in Paisley and I'm staying safe away from them. However, what we're doing is I actually have them here on FaceTime, so hold on one second. Right, everyone say hello to Mama and Papa Pecora. Give everyone a wave. FaceTime, so hold on one second. Right, say hello. Say hello to Mama and Papa Pecora. Hello. Hello. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I was hoping to be there with my mum so that she could answer some of the questions, but what I'm going to try and do is answer the questions through FaceTime and then obviously get her to answer. If for any reason you can't hear them, I'll obviously reiterate the information that she shared. So, I said we're going to do no COVID here chicken curry, so anyone who knows me knows my sense of humour. And for my vegan friends, I was hoping to do a version with soya, but unfortunately the Soya Chunks are over in Pecora Explorer HQ with my mum and dad. So I won't be doing the soya version, and I understand if you don't want to see the meat part, so I can obviously let you know when I'm about to use the meat if you want to stay up until that point. I am trying to record this, so for anybody who wants to maybe try and cook at this a little later on or at the weekend, I'm hoping to be able to upload this onto my YouTube channel, so fingers crossed. And I guess there's nothing I have to do but get started. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I can drop my phone in the curry, I could maybe burn the curry, the internet will go down, but you know what? That's life and we'll deal with it as and when it comes. So hopefully everybody has the ingredients that I said, and obviously with everything that's going on right now, I know that some of you might have struggled to get some of the ingredients, and so that's why we didn't give you a full extensive list of the spices. But I'm going to walk you through everything now that we have. So obviously, starting with chicken, great chicken. Now, a question that I get asked quite a lot is, which type of chicken do you use? And to be honest, I know a lot of people prefer chicken breast, but we as a family, we will eat chicken thigh, chicken leg, and cook it on the bone because it just adds much more flavour. But if you do wish to use chicken breast, that's absolutely fine, and that's what I'm using today because that's all that was in the shop when I went in, say 2 meters apart, but when I went to the shop, that's all that there was. In terms of the other ingredients, obviously we said onion, so having 1 medium onion finely chopped as well. We also said to have some garlic and ginger, and I am your typical lazy cook, so I love my good old lazy garlic and ginger. Of course, I would love to have fresh all the time, fresh is best, but there are just some occasions when actually lazy garlic and ginger is what's needed. I'm going to go through all the spices separately next, but also we hope that you've also got your tomato puree or chopped tomatoes, or in this case, again, all that was left in the shop was plum tin tomatoes, but we can still make it work. The only extra thing that I'm adding today, because this is going to be my dinner, is I'm actually trying to eat more vegetables. So I've got some yellow peppers and also some peas as well that I'm also going to put into my curry. Now obviously you don't have to do that, but for those of you with kids, it is a great way to get the kids eating more vegetables. Instead of just plain boiled or steamed vegetables, can't think of anything worse. Adding vegetables into the curry just gives it a nice flavour and also a really nice texture as well. So I'm going to walk you through the spices. Now, a shameless plug, but not shameless at all, because I know that quite a few of you have purchased some of my spices. In particular, the one that we're using today is my Murghi Masala. And actually in a situation like what we're going through right now, it's great because there's actually everything you need in this one tiny packet, rather than having 10 or 12 different spices in your cupboard that you might only use once a month or once every couple of months. And so I'm going to walk you through what's in these just now, because when it actually comes time to making the curry, it's actually quite quick, I hope. So one of the first things that we have on here, and this wasn't in the ingredients list, is a spice called amchur. And the reason I didn't put it on the list deliberately is I didn't want anybody to worry that they didn't have it in stock or to try and go and find it, because it's not a spice that you would find very often in your mainstream supermarket. Certainly for me, good old Asda and Govan definitely doesn't have it, so it is something that you would want to pick up in the Asian supermarket. And amchur is actually dried mango. And in Hindu folklore, Hindus actually believe that mangoes are a sacred fruit, and so that's why you might see Lord Ganesh, so the elephant god, holding a ripe fruit as a sign of attainment. As a flavour, it gives you that really nice sweet and tangy flavour as well when you're cooking it, and it just adds something a little bit different. And it might not be something that you've seen in traditional Indian cooking before. I just want to remind everybody that these are our family recipes, so every family will make chicken curry differently. And although the base of the spices are the same, if we add a little bit of this and a little bit of that, it's because that's how our family do it. So just bear that in mind. If you're maybe thinking of other recipes, this is how our family do it. We've also got ginger in here. Ginger, absolutely love ginger. And ginger gives a really nice warmth to the curry as well. And ginger is actually also very good for your stomach. Certainly the ancient Egyptians believed that as well, and it's something that we still believe. We've also got onions, garlic, but I've got this in powder form here, black pepper, we've also got cinnamon as well in here, and paprika as well. Now, one of the other spices that we use in here is turmeric, so I'm hoping to bring Mama Pakora back in and actually just ask her why it is that we use turmeric. So give me 1 second. Here she is. I actually just ask her why it is that we use turmeric. So give me 1 second. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. So why is it we use turmeric?
I'm here. We use turmeric because it gives a nice color. It also has health benefits, but you would have to eat a lot of it.
Okay.
Why do we use turmeric?
So that's why we use turmeric. So as you can see, there is a little bit of a delay between me asking the question and getting over to Paisley, so we're working our way through it, but that's why we use turmeric. It gives a nice aroma as well when you're cooking, and obviously a nice, it takes away some of the aroma of stronger meats and also gives a nice colouring as well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get started on making the curry, so you're going to have to bear with me now, because what I'm actually going to do is adjust the camera. So this is where Jamie Oliver has a full crew behind him to help him with this, and hopefully everybody can see my dish. So my pan is heating, and obviously I don't normally cook in a wok, but I am on this occasion, and all I'm doing is just adding some vegetable oil, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my onions. Now again, you'll have to bear with us with the delay, but while that is cooking, I'm actually going to bring Mama Pakora back in and ask why is it that we use onions as a base. Now again, you'll have to bear with us with the delay, but while that is cooking, I'm actually going to bring Mama Pakora back in and ask why is it that we use onions as a base.
Can I speak? Why do you use onions? Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Right, I would like to backstep a little bit. Firstly, you do not add a lot of turmeric to anything you cook with it. And secondly, turmeric has to cook for a reasonable length of time, otherwise it really will not be nice. You won't manage to eat your curry. Now, to answer your question about why we have to brown the onions, we brown them to the point of caramelizing them, not burning them. You have to be careful, simply because it adds a different flavor and a touch of different color to your overall curry.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. So hopefully everybody got that there, but in case you didn't, the reason that we brown the onions is to give a touch of colour and a nice aroma, but as Mama Pakora says, you have to be careful that you don't brown the onions. So obviously what's going to take here is this is going to take a minute to cook. So while we're doing that, the next kind of thing I want to address about Asian food, and I know that you can't see me right now, so unless I come down here and say hi again, the next thing I want to address to everybody is the difference between spicy and spiced. And so again, I'm going to bring Mama Pakora back on this because believe me, she has got a lot to say. So give me 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Mama Pakora gets to the point. The word spicy was brought in by the far eastern people into United Kingdom. We do not use the word spicy, we use the word spice, which is one particular spice, as in cardamom or green, black cardamom, green cardamom, they are a single spice. Spicy has begun to mean that food is chili hot. We do not do that. We always say, curry, do you want it hot? Which means you add more red chilies to your curry. But it's a very, very common misconception. And no, our food is not spicy at all.
Okay, so you heard it there, folks. Not all Asian food is spicy, so it is that common misconception. Now that's not to say that there aren't parts of India where the food is spicier, absolutely there is. But the key thing here is that you add your own spice according to your flavour, according to what you like. And a little bit of an insight into my family, I'm actually the person that doesn't like spicy food. And so in all of my masala packets that I have here, you'll notice that there's no chili in any of them, and I did that deliberately. I don't like spicy food so much so that my mum has to make all of my food separate to my brother, my sister, even my own nieces and nephews can have spicier food than I can. So I'm just keeping an eye on these onions. Obviously multitasking by yourself can be a little bit difficult, and what you can see here is that the onions have started to brown, some of them, and we're starting to get that caramelization coming along. And so I'm just wanting to make sure that it doesn't happen too quickly and we lose that flavour. Don't burn them, Mama's saying over in the corner, don't burn them! This is where it could all go wrong. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do next, because the next couple of stages are going to go through quite quickly. I'm actually going to add my spices next, along with a bit of water, and the reason for that is because when I add my chicken, so vegans beware, the chicken is coming up, I want all the spices to go into the chicken while it's sealing and while it's cooking. I know that some people prefer to cook their chicken and add their spice, and again, everybody's cooking techniques is up to them. I'm not a chef, so it's up to yourself, but the reason that we put our spices first and then add the meat is so that it locks in the flavour while it's going. So, hope you're watching. Here we go. So this is my masala, and this is 1 heaped teaspoon that I've used. So in this packet that you get 20 grams, and I'm just using 1 heaped teaspoon. Obviously I'm cooking for myself, so that's okay, and I've also got some water ready to go. So I'm just going to add a bit of water just now. Here we go, it's going to get noisy. And then I'm adding my masalas now. And you can already start to smell and just see that colour. And the other thing I want to point out here is the redness in this is completely natural. There are no E numbers in this at all. It's actually coming from the paprika. So what I'm going to do now, so vegans beware, the chicken is coming up if you want to switch off now. So I'm adding in my chicken. And I'm just making sure that it's all coated, really getting in there and making sure that everything's nice and covered. Now, the next thing that I'm going to add is my tomato. Now, as I said, we prefer to use chopped tomatoes if we can, or tomato puree, but in this case, I'm going to use 1 plum tomato because that's all that was there. Now, make sure that if you are using plum tomatoes that you really get in there and break it up, because nobody wants a big chunk of tomato when they are having their curry. So get in there. So I'm just going to mix that up. Okay. Now, as I said, I'm trying to eat more vegetables right now, so actually what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my peppers and my peas as well, so that it cooks along with the curry, and just to get that nice flavour going. I mean, how good does that look? Look how bright and colourful that is and fresh. You can't tell me that that is any better than getting, no offence to the takeaways because they are doing a fantastic job right now, not dissing them, but making fresh is just definitely the way to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit more water, because then what I'm going to do is turn my chicken down to simmer. Takes about 20 minutes. You don't want to overcook the chicken, so just be careful of that. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Okay, so I'm going to let that cook. Now, the one other thing, and this is something that my mum doesn't do, so I'm sure she's going to tell me off, but me and my dad absolutely love lime. I love the flavour, I love the tang of it, so actually I'm going to put a squeeze of lime in here as well, but as you'll see, I've already got a wedge here for when I actually serve up my dinner. But don't worry, I still have 3 more in my fridge for my gin and tonic tonight, so while everyone else was stockpiling on toilet paper, I stockpiled on tonic water and limes. So, I'm just going to adjust the camera angle now, so bear with me. So, while that's cooking, you'll be glad to know I'm not going to keep you on a Facebook Live for the next 20 minutes to watch the chicken curry cook. But what should happen now is just let that cook down. I'm going to turn down the heat and just let that simmer away, like I said, for about 20-25 minutes. And again, it all depends on the size of chicken you have, so make sure you check the chicken's cooked thoroughly and heated all the way through. And then of course tonight you can serve that with some rice, serve it with some vegetables, even have it with a wrap if you like, a chicken curry wrap. The opportunities are endless. So what I want to say is I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for joining in and for giving me the support to try something different. It's been an interesting experience. To have my mum and dad on FaceTime as well, we hope that you heard them and that you were able to see them and that everything went well and that you try them. And just one more kind of plug, there are 5 spices in the set and they're all homemade, handmade by myself and Mama Pakora, and these are our family recipes. They're still available to buy on Amazon, and I am allowed to go to the post office, but obviously safe social distancing, 2 meters apart and only allowed once out per day. But if anybody is interested, feel free to Google or search on amazon.co.uk for the Pakora Explorer and you'll see the spice range. All that's left for me to say is thank you again for joining. I really appreciate it. I would love your feedback. It's the first time that I've done anything like this. There is no camera crew, as I said. I'm not Jamie Oliver, but good in some of his cases. I'm no Nigella Lawson, but I just wanted to give it a try, do something a bit different. We've got all this time on our hands, so why not? If you do want to see any of the other recipes that we have for any of the other spices, because we have ones for fish, ones for vegetables and one for rice as well, then please let me know. And of course, if there's any other dishes that you would be interested in when this is all over, of course I would love to get Mama Pakora properly in front of the camera showing you some of our home dishes. So all that's left is I want to just get my mum and dad back on to say goodbye, so bear with me 1 second. Okay, give everybody a wave. Mama and Papa Pakora, staying safe in Paisley.
Bye bye. God bless.
Okay guys, so So thank you so much for joining. Please, if you like what you saw, tell your friends, post some comments, let me know. And like I said, if you're interested in any other recipes, give us a shout. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.